Breaking news! Dalawang saksi na nagngangalang alias Joy at Maria ang humarap sa Senate Blue Ribbon Committee para tumistigo na si Curly Discaya ay di umano isang kontraktor para sa turnover ng isang property ng South Forbes Park kay dating Speaker Martin Romualdez. Itinanggi ni Discaya ang pag-aangkin at sinabing hindi pa siya nakapunta sa South Forbes. Samantala, may isang blunt message si Senate President Pro Tempore Ping Lacson para sa kanyang mga kritiko. Shut the F up!
Being said, as the chairman of this committee, I say to you, shut the F up. Let us now resume our hearings.
Ito ang sinabi ni Lacson na word laban kay Senator Amy Marcos na inakusahan niya ng pagharang sa mga senador sa pagdalo sa mga pagdinig ng Senate Blue Ribbon Committee tungkol sa gulo sa pagbaha or flood control. Isang pahayag na sinabi ni Lacson na pagsisinungaling ng presensya ni Senator Rodante Marcoleta, kaalyado ni Marcos sa mga talakayan. Lalong lumaki ang pagbatikos ni Senator Amy Marcos ni Senator Marcos kay Lacson matapos itong akusahan na nakinabang ito sa pork barrel allocation sa 2025 budget. Siya naman ay gumawa ng mga insinuation tungkol sa mga sexualidad ni Lacson habang hindi direktang tugunan ang mga alegasyon ng pork barrel. Sa kanyang pabungad ng pananalita sa pagdinig ngayong araw, Lunes, Enero 19, hinarap ni Lacson ng mga kritiko na inilarawan ang pagtatanong ng Senado bilang hindi patas o walang bunga. Hindi pinangalanan si Senator Amy Marcos. Sinabi ni Lacson ng mga pagdinig ay naglantad ng eskema ng mga katiwalian sa Bulacan 1st District Engineering Office na binanggit ang mga testimonya mula sa mga pangunahing opisyal ng Department of Public Works and Highways. Pahayag pa ni Lacson sa kanyang mga taga-batikos, ang iyong ingay ay hindi magpapatahimik sa katotohanan. Hindi ito makakatulong sa ating investigasyon, hindi makakonvict ang iyong ingay at hindi man lang makakasuhan ng mga may gawa nitong flood control. Tanging ebidensya lang ang makakagawa niyan. Tinapos niya ang kanyang mga pahayag sa isang kabastusan na itinuro sa kanyang mga detractors. Sa lahat ng sinasabi bilang tagapangulo ng komiting ito, sinasabi ko sa inyo, manahimik kayo, shut the F up. Narito panoorin natin ang Senate Blue Ribbon Committee hearing.
Those who are here for the first time, kindly stand up and raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in this proceeding?
Thank you very much. Kindly take your seats.
Just in case anyone asks why we did not ask Congressman Leviste to take his oath, he is a member of Congress and we are all incumbent. We are tasked to always say the truth, especially in our hearings. We are subject to all the rules of both houses of Congress when it comes to hearings and inquiries, investigations. Thank you.
Okay, with the permission of my colleagues, we have here, as I mentioned, Maria and Joy, and we are in receipt of a draft affidavit na gusto naming panumpaan nyo ngayon sa harap ng komite. So, magdi-distribute kami ng kopya sa mga miyembro. At the same time, tatanungin ko kayo na yung inyong pinadalang draft affidavit, ito yung katotohanan, pawang katotohanan at buong katotohanan lamang. Pwede ba sagutin ninyo? Wala pa ba rito? While waiting for the two witnesses, we proceed na lang kay Undersecretary Ato Bisnar with some presentation because ang issue rito is yung reports na deliberately, di umano, allegedly, nang sinabite ni dating Secretary Bonoan sa Malacanang ay mali-maling grid coordinates. So, Undersecretary Bisnar, can you make your presentation? And after that, we will ask Secretary Bunuan to respond. Yusek Bisnar.
Mr. Chairman, if I may, we will present po the preliminary findings of the ICI, and yung factual lang po yung papakita ni Yusek Bisnar. But for the final report with regard to the 421, we would defer to the ICI to render the final report po.
Thank you, Undersecretary Bernabe. Undersecretary Bisnar is recognized.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair, Your Honors. This presentation will focus on the physical validation of flood control projects by the DPWH in support of the ICI. Next slide. The ICI mandated a four-step process as follows, as shown. At this point, let me go very briefly. Yung first step po is the initial field validation by the DND, AFP, DILG, PNP, DepDev, and DPWH. After yung initial validation, ito po ay ginawa because we're talking here of 30,768 flood control projects from 2016 to 2025. So as initial filter po, ito po yung ginawa natin, deploying po uniformed men and women on the ground para po mas ma-fast track yung process. But after po nitong initial field validation, may technical inspection po and audit of documentation. This time around po, engineers, accountants, investigators ang bababa po sa mga sa mga projects. And the third and fourth is the case build-up and eventually the drafting and filing of case. Ito po ay ICI process which the DPWH has been supporting from the beginning. Next. When we talk po about the 421 suspected ghost projects, ito po yung breakdown from the sumbong sa Pangulo, there were 32, AFP, PNP, 169, DepDev, 210, and then dahil po may common projects between AFP, PNP, and DepDev na 5, so na-trim down into 416 po yung suspected non-existent projects. Ito po yung sa first phase pa lang nung process. Next. So going po sa second phase na yung technical inspection and audit of documentation. Next slide. Ang ICI po created project investigation teams from the PNP and NPI. They focused po on the 79 flood control projects of the top 15 contractors. On the other hand po, the Secretary of DPWH found it important to deploy po DPWH quality assurance unit teams together with AFP and PNP engineers para po tulungan ng ICI with the technical inspection. So 337 po ang hinawakan po ng DPWH. and AFP-PNP engineers. Next. From the very beginning po, 287 po dun sa total. Of the 416, 287 po ay coordinates, MIPS coordinates lang po ang naibigay. On the other hand, yung 129 naman po, MIPS and Infratrack coordinates. I will clarify further, Your Honors. Next slide. Ang na-provide po na coordinates ay yung MIPS start coordinates. At that time po, several other coordinates are available like the MIPS end at saka po yung Infratrack coordinates. Yung short explanation po about which is which, yung coordinates, I think Yusek Rico will discuss it very briefly, if he may, Mr. Chairman. Yung difference lang po nung MIPS at saka yung Infratrack or PCMA coordinates. May I turn it over to Yusek Rico very briefly, Mr. Chair?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So we have po two different coordinates, MIPS po and yung sa PCMA o yung Infratrack. For the MIPS coordinates, ito po yung
Okay, spell out lang, Yusek, yung MIPS at saka these are acronyms na hindi lahat pamilyar.
Yes po, ito po yung multi-year programming and scheduling application. Yun po yung MIPS. So ginagamit po ito sa planning stage po ito sa simula. Kapag po nailabas na yung GAA, nagka-submit po yung mga implementing offices ng kanilang plano sa central sa planning service. Nandun po yung coordinates kung saan po nila pinaplano itayo yung infrastruktura. Yun naman pong sa Infratrack. Yun na po yung sa implementation stage or kung saan po yung actual na kino-construct yung infrastructure. So yun po ang naging findings po upon inspection ng ating mga field validators na nagkaroon nga po ng mga variance between the coordinates of the MIPS kung saan po ito sinabit sa plano at yun pong sa Infratrack. Yun po yung actual na kinonstruct. Thank you po, Mr. Chair.
Chair,
Are you done?
may tatanong lang sa MYPS na sinabi niya. Kasi sabi mo, Mr.
Yes,
Chair,
Senator Marcoleta is recognized.
sabi mo yung MYPS GAA na. Hindi totoo yun kasi MYPS sa NEP pa lang yun. Preliminaries ito eh. Baka mag-mislead kami rito. PCMA pa, meron eh. Doon mo ikumpara dapat kung bakit yung coordinates ay mali-mali. Otherwise, you will be misleading us further.
Mr. Chair, tama po kayo na Mr. Chair. Kapag po yung galing sa regional budgeting, nasa MIPS na po yun before ng GAA. Kaya lang po hindi po kasi lahat ng proyekto na lumalabas sa GAA ay dumaan po doon sa regional budgeting. Kaya po in that case po, doon po nagka-plot pa rin ng bagong coordinates. Sa MIPS pa rin po yun. Kaya po yun po yung aming gustong i-resolve para nga po mabawasan yung mga human intervention and interference. Tama po kayo, Mr. Chair, tama po kayo. Kapag po galing sa regional budgeting before the GAA, meron pong MIPS coordinates. Ngunit yung mga proyekto po na wala sa regional budgeting, they will have to submit the MIPS after the GAA po. And then yung Infratrack po, yun po yung part ng PCMA during implementation stage po. Yung actual po na implementation ng proyekto. Thank you po, Mr. Chair.
Let me clarify, yung MIPS ba, are you saying na irrelevant na ito pag lumabas na yung GAA?
Hindi po, Mr. Chair.
Relevant pa rin?
Yes po, Mr. Chair.
Yes.
Yun po yung sa planning po, Mr. Chair. So,
Correct.
yes po.
So, hindi ito strictly na nasa NEP lang. Magta-transition ito sa GAA.
Tama po, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you. Please continue.
Mr. Chair, i-emphasize ko lang po na yung MIPS coordinates, dalawa po yun. Yung, especially yung mga horizontal projects like flood control, yung coordinate sa start coordinate po kung saan magsisimula at saka yung MIPS end. Ito po yung nasa screen. So dalawang coordinates po per project po yan.
So, okay. Now, let's go to the meat of the discussion, ano? Because ang initial report that I received from DPWH itself, sinabi na deliberate, apparently, no, deliberate yung pag-submit ng mali-maling grid coordinates. Kasi iba yon kung inadvertent yung omission
Yes, sir.
or yung pagkakamali. Pero kung deliberate, that says a lot, di ba?
Yes, sir.
So, we'd like to be educated or informed. Sa inyong initial analysis or assessment, deliberate or hindi intentional?
Mr. Chair, pwede pong magpakita ng
Sige.
ilang examples.
Examples,
po.
yes, correct.
Opo. Ito po, random po to, and mostly na ipapakita po dito yung mga extreme cases na talagang medyo may kalayuan ang ano. Ito po, this is a 2024 project in Naguilian, La Union. Ang MIPS start, ito po yung na-publish sa Sumbong sa Pangulo. Next. Paki-click po. Again, please. Paki-atras po. Paki-atras muna po. Ilang clicks back. Apo. Ito po yung MIPS start coordinates na na-publish sa Sumbong sa Pangulo. Yun rin po yung color blue na pin sa mapa. Yan po, tinuturo ng cursor. Next. Ito naman po yung MIPS end coordinates na available at that time pero hindi na po naibigay. Next. And then yung quality assurance unit coordinates nung December.
Teka muna, sorry to intervene. Ano? Meron pa sa gitna ito, di ba? Yung intermediate. Merong start, merong end, pero somewhere in between, merong intermediate, di ba?
Yun po ang actually nasa department order na start, intermediate, and
Para mas accurate.
mas defined po.
Mas defined. Tama.
Yes, sir.
Okay, please proceed.
Ito pong yellow, ito na po yung actual site ng project. Next, click. Which is 1.97 kilometers away. Ito po ay point-to-point comparison po nung distance from the MIPS start coordinates at saka yung actual. We have to consider po na yung dahil horizontal project po to, so yung length po nung project hindi na po na isama dito sa computation ng distance. Next. Ito po sa Region 2, 2022 project. Yan po yung MIPS start coordinate na nakapublish sa Sumbong sa Pangulo. Next. Yung MIPS end coordinates. Next. And then yung actual po. Ito naman po, kung naibigay yung MIPS end coordinates, definitely po makikita nung validation team at hindi po ma-re-report na non-existent. It's 214 kilometers away, 2.14 kilometers away from the given coordinates, published coordinates in Sumbong sa Pangulo. Ito pong examples na ito ay all throughout the different regions, Your Honor, Mr. Chair. Next, we'll go to Visayas po. Let's skip to Visayas. It's a 2024 project po, worth 98 million in Negros Oriental, yung map.
So, Mr. Chairman, you said, will you please explain this to me like I was in grade 3? Ano bang ibig sabihin nung ito yung start, if start, ito yung end?
Yes, sir.
Tapos actual ito. So anong implikasyon nun?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Mr. Chair, if I may explain po briefly. Mr. Chair, basically, the presentation just shows na meron nga pong variance between the MIPS coordinates, yun nga po yung sinabit ng plano, and yun pong actual implementation. Now, kung bakit po meron ganong difference, yun po yung aming mga nireforma para nga po mabawasan yung mga ganong human interventions, no? And kung buong justified po ba yung pagpuro ng coordinates or duman sa proseso, that is something that we will have to investigate. Ngayon po, Mr. Chair, doon po sa tanong nyo kanina, kung yun po ba sinabit deliberately, of course, ayaw po namin, we're not in the position to answer that. Perhaps Secretary Manny Banuan, who submitted those
Yes, I
coordinates.
understand. Ang tanong ko is, yung nag-random sampling lang kayo, di ba? Ilang projects out of the 30,000 all over the country, ilan yung nakita nyo sa random sampling para ma-establish ang pattern? Ilan yung tumama, ilan yung namali? This is important
Yes, sir.
kasi kung ang percentage ng mali na-overcome o na-overwhelm yung tama, may pattern yon. Pero kung halimbawang sa 10 na random sampling ninyo, isa o dalawa lang yung mali, then there's no pattern. Maybe inadvertent yung omission.
Yes, sir.
To me, as an investigator,
Yes,
that's
sir.
important. So, anong percentage ng mali against the tama?
Yung meron pong slide tayo if we move forward po. Ito pong to answer din si Senate President. Ito pong MIPS coordinate, MIPS start coordinate. Ito pong naisumite sa PMS at nailagay po sa sumbong sa Pangulo. And the only reason po kung bakit 337 projects lang po ang sample natin is because ito po yung actual na napuntahan po nung ating technical ng mga engineers po natin. And nireport po nila, na-assess nila na talagang na-assess po nila. So if we ano po ba out of 337 ang more than 50 meters away, 291 po. Yung less than 50 is 46 out of the 337 sample projects.
Thank you. Now, we go to the motive. If true na deliberate ito, anong possible na motive? For deliberately maliin yung pag-submit ng mga grid coordinates. Naturally, pag mali yung grid coordinates na sinabit, siyempre, lolobo yung ghost projects. Kasi pag pinuntahan yung grid coordinates na mali, wala makikitang project, i-report na ghost. Hindi ba?
Yes, Mr. Chair. And
So yung credibility ng sumbong sa Pangulo website will suffer. Kasi kung napakaraming mali do sa grid coordinates, ni-report na may ghost flood control projects, hindi naman pala. You see my point?
Yes, Your Honor. And totoo po yun kasi yun po ang nangyari dito sa initial field validation natin. Out of the supposedly 421 na trimmed down to 416, ito po ay initially pinuntahan na po ng ng AFP-PNP, ng DepDev, at chinek po nila. Dahil wala sila pong nakita, dahil mali po yung coordinates, nireport po nila as non-existent.
And I think this is substantial enough, 337 out of the 421. Tama ba yun?
Yes, Mr.
And
Chair.
out of the 337, 80+% yung malayo,
86% po yung more than 50 meters.
more than 50 meters. Even
away.
pagka less than 50 meters, mali pa rin yun eh. Maglakad ka ng from here to 50 meters from here, medyo malayo pa rin yun. Hindi pa rin makikita yung tunay na ghost project at saka yung compared to the accomplished or completed projects. Kung meron.
Yes, Mr. Chair. Kasi marami pong factors pag nasa baba na. Meron pong mga lugar, medyo masukal na yan. And kung talagang mag-deviate ka lang by a few so many meters, hindi mo talaga po makikita.
Now, next question. Who signed the submission ng mga grid coordinates sa PMS?
Mr. Chair, we were trying to to backtrack yung official communication to PMS, and unfortunately po hindi namin makita. Pero
Dalawa kasi ang punto rito, yung nag-submit, nag-sign, at saka yung nag-prepare. Under Secretary Bernardo, you were USEC for operations. Can you contribute to the discussion? Kung ano yung flow? Kindly walk us through. I'm sure present ka nung dinidiscuss ito, hindi ba?
Mr. Chair, nung pong submission na yan, I was on leave na po. But I know something about it. Mr. Chair, I think before the submission to the PMS, they were collecting data from the district engineers and from the regional directors. The department is collecting those data. And of course, the regional offices and the district engineering offices submitted coordinates do sa PCMA po, in accordance with the Survey 123, yun po yung namin. Kasi these were actual project construction po na ginagawa. So yun po yung nire-record namin. Only to find out later that the submitted data po sa PMS was MIPS data. MIPS, yun po yun. Yung MIPS data po, yung sinasabi po ni Yusek Visnar. Tapos po, I kept on, because I was on leave on that time, so I was talking with my regional directors.
Kindly elaborate, ano ba yung tawag yung mixed data? Ano yun?
Multi-year...
Mixed or mixed?
MIPS po.
MIPS, sorry.
Opo, sir. Sorry po. So, yun po yung dinidiscuss ni Yusek Visnar kanina. So, I talked to my regional directors and district engineers about it, and I told them to tell to the secretary na bakit ganun, na bakit naman yung nasubmit po na datos ay ang MIPS data, hindi naman po yun yung actual project construction. I mean, if we are trying to find out, of course, yung mga flood control projects, malaki po ang diferensya niyan doon po sa datos ng planning. Kasi minsan po sa loob po ng isang taon, nagbabago po ang linya ng ating mga ilog eh. So yun po, kailangan maging sakto. And I kept on saying na hindi pwedeng mabigyan ng maling coordinates. Kailangan makita natin yung actual bago natin ma-inspection po at makita talaga kung ano talaga yung existence ng projects. That is why, noon po una rin ako nagkondito, sinabi na banggit ko na rin po yun noon dito nung na-invite niyo po ako nung first time. So, ang akin po, ala naman po akong doon sa kung it was wrongfully submitted or may intention. Basta ang akin lamang po sana po, while the data was submitted only to the PMS, bakit po may mga naiwan naman pong mga tao doon na bakit po hindi kinorek? During the time ay pinasabihan ko po na yung po mga, actually meron pa po mga tao ngayon na nandoon, including the QAU, who were, I think some of those QAU members were also contributors to the inspection. I mean, sila rin po nag-verify noon eh. Bakit di po nila sinabi na mali po yung ano, dahil ang nabigay pong data doon sa nag-inspection, meets data rin po. Nung una po na, I think nung naggawa po si Secretary Manny Bonoan ng mga mag-inspection, ang nagbigay po ng data from planning, yung pong MIPS data rin po ang binigay. So sabi ko, talagang maraming makikitang ghost projects dito at hindi mabe-verify talaga yung actual project na nagawa po. Yun po, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Your Honor. Let me backtrack a little bit, Your Honor, on the submission of the projects that we submitted to the Office of the President. See, as directed by the President during his SONA, he directed actually the Department of Public Works and Highways to submit at the earliest possible time the list of completed projects, flood control projects from July of 2022 up to May of 2025. So with that, we had very little time actually to go through all the data. And on August 4 of 2025, we submitted the list of projects numbering, I think, about 9,856, but there was a correction of one project, so it became 9,855 projects. Truth of the matter is, because of the time constraint that we have to submit, I instructed the late Undersecretary Cabral to collate the information that we need to submit to the Office of the President. And because the Planning Service has a record of projects that had been completed already, Mr. Chair, under the MIPS, this is what has been deliberated on. This is the multi-year program scheduling. And MIPS coordinates, for that matter, Mr. Chairman, is actually a locational MIPS. It's only a locational MIPS. There is a difference between a locational MIPS and a coordinate of what as stake. The as stake coordinates is the basis for the contract. Depending on the situation on field,
Ito yung linear distance, sinasabi ninyo.
the as stake, yes, that is already the coordinates for the contract in itself, Mr. Chair. But nevertheless, what we are saying is actually, aside from coordinates that we are talking about, there are many informations that we have already also submitted to the Office of the President with regard to the projects that we have submitted. We have submitted where the project is, which agency or district office, the name of the project is the same project that would have appeared in the General Appropriations Act, the name of the contractor, the date, the amount of contract, the amount of bid, the amount of program of work, and the date started, the date of completion. So all this information has been included in the submission to the Office of the President, Mr. Chair. So the coordinates is just one of the data that is included. So there are many other data that you can validate actually the existence of the contract in itself. In fact, Mr. Chair, when we submitted this in August 4 of 2024, I know that there has been some differences between the MIPS coordinates and the ASIS-TAKE plans, and therefore, immediately after we submitted it to the Office of the President, I immediately sent validation teams actually for the purpose of getting present absent status of the 9,855 projects. And in a week's time, there were reports already that were coming to my office, to the office. And it is only in Region 3 that furnished me a copy of possible potential cost projects. And well, true enough that when I received this report, there are no other. By the way, Mr. Chair, there were no other regions that furnished me or informed me of any other cost project at that time. So right then and there, I went to validate myself actually where these cost projects are in Bulacan First Engineering District, so to speak. And true enough, collaboration with members of the officials of that district and the regions, I found out that there had been some cost projects in that area. And immediately, Mr. Chair, after my validation, I went to the President, and I was the one who personally reported to him actually the potential ghost projects at that time. Let me also clarify, Mr. Chair, that my statement to the President is that I hope, Mr. President, that this is an isolated case because there has not been any other report that reached me, including in Bulacan area, where there are 3 engineering districts. And if it would have been a pattern actually in that district, then you can imagine there's only one that has reported presence of ghost projects. And so the President told me to start investigating the ghost projects. Immediately thereafter, Mr. Chair, I relieved all the personnel of Bulacan First Engineering District, and we started to undertake the investigations. But thereafter, during the investigations, including COA and everything, then I resigned in September 1. Your Honor, so that's the whole story. So there is actually a difference between MIPS coordinates and ASIS-TAKE plant coordinates, Mr. Chair. Admittedly, I think, if I remember right, I also discussed this a little bit with the President when I reported actually where the ghost projects are. Because I think what has been submitted are coordinates of already completed projects before. So there are some differences.
We'll now proceed to the priority list based on the order of arrival of the members of the committee. Let's start with Senator Erwin Tulfo, followed by the Senate President, then Senator Risa Ontiveros, Senator Marcoleta, Senator Ejercito, Senator Gatchalian. Kasi hindi naman tayo masyado marami, we'll give you 15 minutes each.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.